Episode 52, 1 year of podcasting.
Yay.
I'm keeping that in there.
Yeah, you should.
Welcome to the Visionary Variety Podcast, where we cover all kinds of cool stuff like photo, video, film, books, and technology. So switch on your brain and enjoy the show. Welcome back to the podcast, listeners. This is our 52nd episode, which means we have done a full year of podcasting, and that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. I can't believe it's been this long already.
I know, yeah. Time flies. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Time, you know what they say? Time flies when you're podcasting, am I right?
Yeah, that good old saying.
My grandpa used to say that.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, he was ahead of his time.
So we have made it past the 1 year point, and I'm really proud of ourselves because we didn't know what the heck we were doing when we started.
What makes you think we know what we're doing? I'm sure.
Yeah.
We just learned a few more things since then, but not a whole lot.
It took us 1 year to be comfortable to talk in front of the mic.
Well, we've definitely come a long way in terms of, how we do things and understanding how it all works. And like we said, we're still learning. I'm still figuring things out, and I still have lots of questions about this whole podcasting world, but it's a hobby for us, and it's been a lot of fun.
It's a great topic to bring up to other people. They're like, hey, what are you into? You're like, I podcast. And it's like, what?
I love when podcasts come up on their own, and I get to say, oh, I have my own podcast. And people are like, whoa, really? Yeah, I'm pretty much a big deal. So in this episode, we're going to be kind of looking back over 2018 of our first year of podcasting, things like our favorite episodes, some interesting stuff about how we got started and all that jazz. Then we're going to talk about what's coming up in this new year of 2019, which I'm super excited about. I feel like 2018 was just like a fun learning experience and kind of getting a feel for the kind of things that we'd like to talk about and how it all works with interacting and finding listeners. So I'm really looking forward to 2019 because there's tons of cool stuff coming your way. And then after that, we'll be talking about some nerdy stuff going on in entertainment, some movies, TV series, video games, and some other cool stuff that's going on. And I think you're going to enjoy it a lot. So let's start off with, what were your favorite episodes of the podcast?
Probably my favorite episodes would be any one that we've done as like an interview. Like those are a lot of fun. I think our geeky origin story was kind of fun.
That was cool.
That was a good one.
It was kind of a way to dig in and say, this is who I am. This is what I like.
Yeah.
And so that was a lot of fun. And then of course, anything Star Wars related is kind of always up my alley.
I think I really enjoy listening to and being a part of the movie review episodes. I don't know if I have an exact favorite. I just like doing all of them. And I think I also really like the Things We Wish We Knew episode.
Yeah, because I wasn't there.
Oh, Daniel, no.
I see how it is.
No, it would have been better if you were there, but it was, I still liked it regardless. I'm sorry. But no,
I was
just
proud of you guys.
Yeah, I think we had a really good conversation, and I don't always feel confident about talking about, I guess, my expertise in certain areas. I feel like I don't convey as much as I would like to, but in that episode, I think I did okay. So I think it's more of a personal accomplishment episode for me.
Yay!
Woo!
Awesome. Woo for me. For myself, I kind of started at the beginning. I just went through all the episode listings on the app, and the first one I saw that I loved was Tools of the Artist. That episode was inspired by, stuff that I was learning and going through and really wrapping my head around at the time. And I felt like that episode is an important concept to grasp. It's like the role of the tools that the artist uses. The art is not just the tools, but you do have to have some tools to make the art. Right. So I don't know. I just love that discussion we had, and the topic was really meaningful to me personally. The next one that I saw that was really fun that stood out was Things We Hate About Star Wars, which is one of our most listened to episodes.
Is it really? Oh
yeah,
my gosh.
I think it's the title. It's like, ooh, they're probably hating on episode 8. Let's listen.
Yeah.
So, that's not what it was.
No, it was mainly me hating on Hayden Christensen's performance.
Yeah, Hayden on Hayden. Okay.
Wow.
So I like that episode just because I am a huge Star Wars fan. Like, I'm one of the biggest Star Wars fans that I know. Yet still retains some ability to socialize with normal human beings.
Yeah.
But regardless of my high level of fandom of Star Wars, there's a lot of things I don't like about Star Wars and funny nitpicky things.
Yeah.
I finally got to voice all my little minor frustrations with the Star Wars universe. So that was good for me. It's like therapy, it's getting it out.
Yeah.
So let it
It's
go.
like
one way
writing
to
that
look
letter
at it.
and then burning it.
Next was a great time to be a geek. Josh pointed this out in a previous episode that he was on, that he really liked that episode. And I totally agree. That was a great topic.
Man, I wish I was there for that one.
It was good. It was kind of really, our podcast exists because the whole concept in that episode is that geek culture and nerdiness is accepted and okay and fun. And it's not seen as like an outcast, group of people anymore. The other two that I really loved was What If We Discovered Aliens, and then Best Visual Effects in Cinema. That was really fun because I got to study about black holes and interstellar and stuff like that. So I totally geeked out with that one. All right. So coming up on the social media soon, we've got 2 things coming up. Actually, 3 things. First, have you ever been listening to a podcast and wondered what our setup is, what our office looks like, what kind of wacky things we have, in front of us when we record these episodes? What you're going to find out very soon. We're going to be posting to the Visionary Variety podcast page and our other social media outlets what our desks look like. What the heck are we looking at for an hour or 2 or 3 sometimes when we record these episodes? You're going to find out pretty soon. So that's coming up. Second is I made a poll for the listeners out there. And this is a poll that basically is just going to help us to understand who's listening, why they're listening, and what they want to hear more of, so that we can make 2019 even better. Because, we're always trying to improve and cater to our audience, but also find things that we know about that we can talk about and make good episodes about. So this poll is really important. I really hope that you guys go and find this on social media, fill it out. It takes like a minute. It's just a few multi-choice options, really easy. And we would much appreciate that for anyone that has time to go do that. Because like I said, it's going to help us improve and get some better content out there for you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. And the third thing is going to be made by our own Angela Brock. Angela, why don't you tell us about that? What's coming up?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So for anyone out there who is not aware, there is always a blooper at the end of our episodes. And I personally like them a lot. So I wanted to make a video that's a compilation of all the bloopers that have been in the episodes. So last year around Christmas time, I released a video that was episodes 1 through 26, all the bloopers in those episodes. I didn't want to have the full year. I was at first debating whether we wanted to do a whole year of bloopers in one video, but that would have extended the video to be way too long. So I broke it up. So since our 52nd episode is now here soon, I'm going to be releasing the second half year of our bloopers. So kind of excited to hear how all those are back to back.
Those are so fun. And on top of the outtakes that you may have missed from, the previous half year, we have other outtakes that no one's ever heard before, except for us, of course.
I even have, actually. So
Yeah, some of them you haven't been in on. So we've got some hilarious, they're all short. They're like 5, 10, 15 seconds. So there's not like a whole episode you're going to be listening to. But we'll be making something else coming up in the future to feature those because they are hilarious. And I can't wait to hear them all back to back. It's going to make you laugh.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Before we get to talking about what's coming up in 2019, I want to give a huge thanks to all the individuals that were on the show as for the interview episodes. So we've interviewed photographers, movie makers, actors, all kinds of talented, interesting, and creative people. And I'm looking forward to doing more of those next year. But a huge thanks to all the people who joined us for the show and allowed us to tell their stories and to get their name out there. It was a lot of fun. These people are our friends, and some of them are people we've met online, but it's been a big honor to have them on the show. So thank you guys for joining us. And also to all the listeners out there, huge thanks to you guys for listening, for subscribing, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff to help our show reach new listeners and just for enjoying the show. I mean, that's what it's for. We're not trying to, it's not a popularity contest. We don't make any money off of this. It's really just to have fun and to share, our experiences and opinions. And, conversely, we want to hear back from you guys. We want to hear back from the listeners about what your opinions and experiences are, concerning whatever the topic is. So we just want to thank all you guys for listening and loving the podcast because it makes us feel good. All right. So like I said earlier, the poll is going to be on the Facebook page very soon, and I'm going to share it around as well. But jump on that poll, answer the questions, and let us know what you like about the show, what you don't like about the show, what are some things you'd like to hear more of in 2019, all that good stuff. Get back to us, please, because honestly, we don't hear back from a lot of the listeners, but I know there's at least about 100 subscribers. I'm just going to come out and say we have about 80 to 100 subscribers, and there's probably additional people that listen that aren't subscribed because they're just not podcasters. But yeah, so I know there's people out there. I know you're listening to me, person, in your car, in your earbuds. You.
Calling him out.
So write us and say hi. My name is blah blah blah, and I love this kind of show, or I don't really care for these. So we want to hear back from you guys. All right, so coming up in 2019, we're going to be doing more interviews. I would love to get some cosplayers on the show. I know a lot of really talented cosplayers just through my photography. These are people that make their costumes from scratch, whether it's leather work or LED electronic stuff in their suits. Fantasy sci-fi suits that they're making, really elaborate stuff. I would definitely want to get some cosplayers on here to talk about their craft and, some funny and not so fun stories, things they've experienced through cosplaying. I think that would be great to hear their side of the story. I've got some other photographers, a filmmaker that does indie films. I've got a friend that does visual effects for Hollywood movies, and that would be awesome. Like, I want to hear about what he does and how it all works. So if you have any ideas on someone that you think would be great for the podcast, let us know. Also, in this previous year, I've met a lot of people that do their own podcast, especially local. There's quite a few people here in Central Texas that have their own podcast covering anything from movies to cosplays. Pretty much any subject you can imagine, there's a podcast for it. So I want to do some podcast crossovers. I want to have some other podcasters hosted on the show. I think that'd be pretty fun. Something else that came to my mind was late last year, we did a movie review of Star Wars, the holiday special. It was really hard to get through for us.
To say the least.
It took a little bit of our souls.
It gave me bad dreams.
He's not
it also
lying
wasted
either.
about 2 hours of our life. But, like I said on that episode, we watched it so you don't have to. And you're welcome. It's just, we're doing a service for humanity here. This is a pretty big deal.
Okay.
What I want to do, okay, sure.
That's what you want to call it. It makes it sound better, at least.
It justifies the time wasted on that episode. But I want to do more movie reviews next year, including some bad movies. Not hopefully not as bad as that one.
I don't think it's possible.
I'm talking like Sharknado and some other funny, cheesy movies that maybe are higher quality in production, but still like maybe we could just do a cult classic series. We can like review those movies.
That wouldn't be
like
as bad.
Maybe like one a season where we review a cult classic movie or a famous cheesy, laughably bad movie, something like that. It'd be fun. In between the serious movies. And my last goal for 2019 is to get Nate to listen/read a book. That's my goal.
Oh, man.
I know it's lofty. It's a big goal. But I believe we can do it.
See, for those that don't know what we're talking about, go back a couple episodes, and Daniel has a spreadsheet of everything he's listened to. And he just wants me to be that nerdy, so I guess I could try to finish half a book.
I want you to enjoy the artistry of literature and the adventure of reading a book.
Reading or listening to a book?
Same thing.
All those real bookworms out there like, audiobooks, you're not a real bookworm. So
whatever.
He would like for me to listen to at least one book this year.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see. I got to pick out a good one, and we're going to read it, listen to it together, and then we'll do an episode on it. I think that'd be fun.
Aw, how cute.
Sorry. Patronizing me. All right, so before we get on to the nerdy news and stuff portion of this episode, I'm going to tell you a third time, do the poll. By the time you hear this episode, it's going to come out. You'll see the post and do it. Just do it, okay? Shia LaBeouf, do it.
Oh my gosh.
Just do it. All right, so I have come across quite a few tidbits, morsels, if you will, even, yes, rumors perhaps, of Star Wars Episode 9.
Oh, man.
We just went downhill. No,
this is going to be one heck of a rabbit hole here.
The rumors abound
myself.
when Star Wars movies are announced. It gets ridiculous.
Yeah.
The fan theories. I saw the dumbest fan theory the other day. What was it? It's like Anakin was going to be revived or something.
Yeah.
No.
Like, no. What? He got burned in the fire.
He's going to be a really weird spirit.
Wacky stuff.
Even if he's just a Force ghost, no.
Yeah,
no.
Still no to that.
That cringy smile that Angela loves.
Oh, yes. So hot.
No. I I'm going to stand up and yell no at the theater if he does show up, I swear.
Just like Luke. No!
It's impossible.
It's impossible. Oh, man. That would be so great if anybody did that regardless. if Anakin shows up. Man, that'd be funny. All right. So let me zoom through these because I found quite a few that seemed, slightly, almost, possibly, maybe credible. So,
okay.
Yeah. So let's get started. All right. So the first one, according to that hashtag show, J.J. Abrams has been casting and looking for a 40 to 50-year-old female, and the character's name, Mara. Now, if you've read the old Star Wars books, you're gasping just like Angela did.
I didn't read the books, but I know who she is. So
you're still gasping.
Yeah.
So Mara is Mara Jade of the non-canon Star Wars books, and that is Luke's wife. So pretty big deal. So if that is the Mara Jade of the non-canon books, that means he's canonizing Mara, and that means we're going to have Luke's wife. Maybe they're divorced. Maybe she's dead already. I assume she already died because she would have been with Luke on the island. So
he was on the island, got kicked out.
Also, the novelization of The Last Jedi mentions Luke having a wife on Tatooine.
All right.
I want to read the book just for that because I need to know more. So we'll see. We'll see if J.J. Abrams is going to give him a deceased wife, and if it's going to be Mara Jade. We don't know. Next thing is Jabba the Hutt's son, Rota, which I believe is in the animated Clone Wars series. He will be, this is, again, these are rumors. These are not like official announcements, but some of them might be more credible than others. So this rumor was saying Jabba the Hutt's son, Rota, will be featured, and the crime rings of the Hutts will play an unlikely ally to the Resistance in Episode 9. So if you remember, right, in Episode 8, they sent the signal out to the Outer Rim where the rest of the Resistance was, and they hadn't heard back, right?
Yeah.
I think that Episode 9 is going to be the big, like, rally cry, cavalry's coming to save the day kind of deal, where the Resistance comes and finally finishes off the First Order. We'll see. So maybe the Hutts are siding with the good guys somehow. I don't know. DJ, the character that Benicio del Toro played that I hated from Rogue One with the totally unnecessary stutter, he is going to come back. That's one rumor. We'll see. Yeah.
Not really, but okay.
I feel like he just tries to steal the limelight because of who he is. I'm just like, get off the screen. I don't care about you. I know you're like famous and stuff. I don't care. General Hux, next rumor is General Hux will be feeding information to the Resistance in an attempt to see Kylo fail as a new Supreme Leader of the First Order. I could see that.
I could see that too.
He seems kind of incompetent and do whatever it takes to be top dog again.
Yeah. So, and he hates Kylo Ren for sure, so it's possible.
Sure does. He got Force thrown inside of that at Walker, and just doesn't. That's not a good mark of a friendship there.
No, you don't really come back from that too easily.
Don't you hate when your friends do that to you?
I know. Every time.
All right, next is, according to Mike Zero, who's a big YouTube guy, there's this fan theories and stuff, a storyboard has been leaked showing Snoke and another likely to be Kylo Ren with an incomplete saber in hand. So will Snoke return? Will it be a flashback? Force Ghost? We don't know.
All right.
I mean, if they're going to do Snoke, they need to give us some freaking answers about who, why, and what he is.
Yeah.
It's so out of the blue. Yeah, we know how Star Wars is. Every backstory has a backstory.
Yeah,
we don't have a back or front story. This guy,
and they'll make more backstories to make more money.
Yeah, you see that piece of that rock in the background? Oh, that rock's got a backstory too.
It's got a name and everything.
What planet it came from? Yeah. All right. Next rumor is Poe Dameron, a Force user? Question mark.
Oh boy.
Perhaps.
It's a fun name to say.
Awakens, and this is actually somewhat canon. So in The Force Awakens comic number 27, Poe admits to tapping into some kind of energy while piloting, which helped him survive the crash on Jakku. Didn't you guys wonder, like, how the heck did he live?
Yeah. I thought he was dead.
That TIE fighter smashed. And I'm like, how did he get out, in one piece? I don't know.
Plot armor.
A whole lot of armor.
Plot armor.
Maybe the armor has, like, inflatable safe airbags surrounding his entire body. The whole suit.
Oh my god.
So yeah, he admits vaguely to using the Force while piloting. Cool. The next little tidbit of this is, as revealed in Star Wars The Shattered Empire, Luke gave remnants of the Great Tree, which is that mysterious tree on Ahch-To, the island. He gave a piece of the tree to Poe's parents, and this was, some time ago. before episode 7 and 8.
Huh.
And they planted it and grew their own little baby great tree, not so great tree, on Yavin 4. And Poe grew up around the tree, which is mentioned in that Shattered Empire. I think it's a book. So, Force tree and little baby Poe. Next, Obi-Wan will return as a Force ghost or in a flashback and will secretly be filming the Obi-Wan film that they keep saying is not going to be made.
So excited.
Yeah, we'll see. Do love me some Ewan McGregor.
Yep.
All right. That's nice.
You heard it from me first. Carrie Russell of The Americans and Felicity is cast as an unknown female character with action scenes. This is actually official. I've watched The Americans. It's a really cool spy show. And she's a great actress. I don't know what she's doing in Star Wars, and no one else knows what she's doing in Star Wars either. But the requirement was action scenes and physical training. So maybe that will be the Mara character. Maybe that will be Rey's mom. We don't know. We shall see. All right, next rumor, which is not really rumor. Billy D. Williams, who played Lando Calrissian, will be returning as Lando Calrissian.
Whoa.
I feel like he's been like gambling on the Outer Rim and just kind of out of the picture.
Yeah.
Because where the heck has he been? I don't know. We'll find out. All right, last thing. Caro. This is a character we don't know much about, except the fact that this is going to be potentially a new female lead, and she will be introduced in episode 9. People that are doing casting calls for her are preferring to have an African-American actress. Cool. Perhaps this will be Rey and Finn's daughter. Bum, bum, bum. Orlando's daughter / granddaughter. Or just, hey, we're going to do new Star Wars movies after this, episode 10 through 12.
Oh my gosh.
With this new girl. I don't know. But the name was released somewhere, somehow, for a casting call, character, or whatever. So, yeah, we'll see. More girls in Star Wars. Not complaining.
Whoa.
But they're kind of everywhere now. It's like all women.
That's why I'm kind of like, cool. So this past week, 2 major games have been released. It's been Resident Evil 2 Remake and Kingdom Hearts 3. 2 very, very different games.
Really? I think they're pretty much the same, really, when you think about it.
Sure. So I'm not much of a horror game kind of person. I don't like being disturbed while I play a video game, but I have to admit the game looks really cool. Like, it looks really good for the kind of game that it is. My sister has a YouTube channel called Tiffy Pop, and on that channel we played the Resident Evil 2 demo. And that demo was pretty interesting, as you only had 30 minutes to play it and try to go through it. So, well, we don't work well under pressure, so that was an interesting experience.
Especially when there's zombies chasing you.
Yeah. It was not a very good experience. But anyways, I was impressed. I was impressed with how they did the visuals and how the atmosphere and everything was. And the actual game released soon after we played it. They released about a week ago. And the reviews have been amazing for it. So it's kind of cool to see it succeed. And within its first weekend, it has sold 200,000 copies.
Whoa.
Which is really good. But
was this original on PlayStation 2 or 1? Or when was
the first
this?
game came out on PlayStation 1. But for all the success that the remake has made, it is nothing in comparison to what Kingdom Hearts 3 has accomplished. And for those who are not aware, the Kingdom Hearts series started all the way back in 2002.
It's like when you were born, Angela.
Right. No. I was like 10 or 11 when that game came out, and I played it soon after launch. So I've been a fan of this series since the very beginning. And Kingdom Hearts 2 came out in 2006 in the US. So we have been waiting for 13 years for Kingdom Hearts 3 to come out. Now, it's not like there hasn't been any Kingdom Hearts material coming out since, like, in that in-between period. They've had plenty spin-off games come out in between. I'm not even sure how many. Oh my gosh. It's at least 4, I think. Before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, I've seen tons of videos on YouTube being uploaded that explains the whole plot of the series thus far so people can be caught up. And let me tell you, Kingdom Hearts plot is not easy to keep track of. So these videos are like a half an hour long. It's a little crazy. But that has not deterred people from playing these games. When on its opening weekend, it has sold 600,000 copies.
Goodness.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but the reviews, thankfully, seem to be good so far. It's only been out for maybe 3 or 4 days, but the critics have given it really good reviews, about in the mid-80s range on Metacritic. So thankfully, after 13 years, we have not gotten a dud. That is the main thing.
This is like Game of Thrones novels or something. Like, you make the fans wait forever and ever.
So, as a fan, I am very much looking forward to playing this game eventually. I have not played like the last game in the series before that, so I have some work to do before I can get to it.
Yeah.
But the game looks gorgeous. Like, the last that we've seen of anything Kingdom Hearts is basically PlayStation 2 graphics. And those graphics were good. But you look at the graphics that the PlayStation 4 can render out in-game footage on Kingdom Hearts 3, and it looks like
incredible,
like the pre-rendered cutscenes from the first two games. It is amazing, and I'm so excited. But that's my little bit right there.
That's cool.
Nate, what you got?
Rocksteady is coming out with yet another Batman game. Now the Batman trilogy is my favorite. They're going to be coming out with Arkham Crisis.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what happens in this one, but it sounds like midlife crisis. I guess
sounds like there's going to be a crisis happening. That's for sure.
Gee, that'll be new to the Batman franchise.
I know, right?
So that's the upside of the Batman world, and then the downside is Ben Affleck is no longer our Batman, which is, you know.
I saw it coming, kind of. But
I know we
still,
did.
It's kind of
like,
sad.
So he's no longer. It's official, and as of 2021, there will be a new Batman film release with another actor, yet not to be announced until midsummer.
Is it? You think it's going to be a total reboot, or they're just going to pretend like nothing happened?
Probably. as desperate as DC's been recently, it's probably just going to be like nothing ever happened. Because
weird.
There's a few people online that would be good Batman, like Armie Hammer, the guy that plays the Russian Man from U.N.C.L.E. Also,
say Arm and Hammer, like the baking soda.
I know it sucks as a name, but he's a good actor.
Please
sorry.
Photoshop that.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny. There's people like him. He'd be a good Batman. He's about 6'5", so he's a big dude, deep voice. I think we all can say we've heard this before, but yet again, it's kind of come back in the loop that we're looking to have a Darth Maul sequel. He still wants it.
Ooh.
He still wants to have his own movie, and he's all on board.
Of course
Very
he does.
cool.
Yeah, that'd be interesting because this is a character we actually know, from the start to not the start, but we know majority of his life. Like, it's already been outlined in the series and even some books, and even up to his death, which is, I won't tell you who kills him, but it's in Rebels. So, yeah, I mean, not to say they can't do it. There's plenty of stories to make in the in-between gaps. We'll see.
I first would see an Obi-Wan film coming out before him, just for storyline stuff. And keeping it in the movie world, Dwayne Johnson is looking forward to making the next Fast and Furious and wants Aquaman to be his brother. In the movie.
Man.
So Jason Momoa is most likely going to be in the next Fast and Furious.
That could work, because aren't they both Hawaiians
Yeah,
in
both
real life?
Polynesian.
Oh my gosh. That's perfect.
Interesting. I'm sure Jason Momoa will be like racing boats and stuff. Water. I don't do cars.
I always hear it like the butt end of jokes, but Daniel, do you know anything about Starship Troopers?
I saw a headline about it that they were going to do a show about it. That would be interesting for a TV show, because I feel like it's a good story that you could expand into a serial episode kind of format. So
yeah,
I love the bad. That's a movie we could do a review of.
Oh
wait,
man.
it's R-rated. I don't know about that.
No, if you made me watch the awful movie, we can do an R.
Yeah, we could do Bandersnatch, but he's sworn off.
Oh, true.
I don't watch R movies, but yet I watched a movie that confused the crap out of me.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know anything about that yet. I haven't followed that lead down, but
I think the biggest one I'm most excited about in the movie world is that they're reuniting the Ghostbusters. So,
oh yeah,
I'm really excited about that. But the previous one, the female roles that did the last one, are all super mad that it's happening. And so,
come on, guys.
What? They did that to the original. What are they mad about?
Exactly. I was like, you can't. Like,
I guess
you
they're
just ripped off.
thinking, like, they think our movie's not good enough, so they're coming back.
Brother. Getting all triggered.
I think it's personally silly, because they've had a Ghostbusters 3 script in the works for a very long time, even to the point where they decided to make a video game based on, they did released like during the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 era. There's that. It's been in the works for a long time, so I don't know why they are so mad. Come on.
They're just mad they're not going to get their paycheck. That's all. So,
oh my gosh.
Terminator 6 is in the works, so making another one with Schwarzenegger. And
is Arnie still in it?
Yeah.
As a crusty
Terminator. I don't know if
Terminator?
he's ever going to die.
I'm sorry, but
And the last one that I'm excited about, I don't know about y'all, but Princess Diaries 3 is really
Why?
started filming.
Random. Someone's just been holding on for over those years. Like, I love this movie.
Like,
it needs a sequel.
Who's gonna go see it? Because like little girls nowadays, they don't know Princess Diaries. Probably the 30-year-old lady's gonna go see it or something.
Pretty much. Their audience is gonna be a lot older.
It's going to be all adult. Like,
yeah,
that'd be weird.
I just don't understand people making sequels to movies like years and years down the road. And it's not even like a blockbuster movie. I mean, Princess Diaries, sure, it's a lot of kids liked it, but it's not like a smash hit classic. I don't think. I don't consider
it's not like
that.
Incredibles.
Yeah.
Which no one cares that. We're just glad to get a sequel. You know, people have been waiting for a sequel, unlike
there's
Princess
that. Diaries. But Princess Diaries, nobody's asked for a sequel that I know of. But okay, whatever.
Also in 2019, Disney Plus is coming out with their service, and I believe Loki has his own TV show, correct? Tom Hiddleston?
It should be. I think that's still a thing.
Well, on top of him being super busy with that, he's also in the lineup to be in our next James Bond. So that's going to be exciting. It's going to be kind of weird.
That would be cool, honestly.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. From really evil to secret agent man.
All right, I've got 3 quick things here. Coming up, speaking of Disney Plus, CBS is still going strong with their streaming service. Pretty much all they've got going is Star Trek Discovery.
Oh, yeah,
that I know of. They're holding out. But
gosh darn, we're gonna make it work.
We'll show you Disney with our one cool show. They're going to be making another Star Trek show.
Oh my.
Which is also going to be on CBS All Access streaming service. You like Star Trek? We'll give you more Star Trek.
Oh my.
So this is going to be a Jean-Luc Picard series, which I'm looking forward to. I'd love to see it. Everyone loves Picard. I mean, like, are there any haters of Picard? No, there's not, because he was great.
Nope.
So yeah, he's going to get his own show. The show in the Star Trek universe is going to take place in the year 2399 or thereabouts. So we've aged in real time with the captain, and he's no longer a captain in this show. He's not captaining.
He's not captaining no more.
That's weird. That's a weird word. Yeah, he's not a captain anymore.
Yeah.
Which means he could be anything. He could be an ambassador. He could be still traveling or exploring. We don't really know yet. I'm sure they'll release eventually, or maybe they'll keep it secret. But not a captain. And also the crew and actors from The Next Generation are likely not going to be on the show as, like characters, because he's not on a ship, right? Like, it would be kind of weird. Are they just hanging out in a bar? Like, I don't know. So the characters from the TNG are not going to be on the show. They may be featured. I mean, I don't know. They could pop in for a cameo every now and then. That'd be kind of nice. But because this is not a crew spaceship show, they're not going to be regular characters, which is kind of sad because I like them.
Aww.
But so that's it for the Picard Star Trek show. Next up, we've got the video game Anthem coming out February 22nd. This is a science fiction game where you, the player, basically wear an armored suit and have amazing weapons, fly around, go underwater, fight aliens and creatures and ancient whatevers on this amazing looking planet. It's really beautiful. Like, it's going to come out on PC, so who knows? Maybe I'll buy it if I can find time to play. But it's got an RPG as the foundation of the game. But you go out on, I'm guessing, some kind of missions, and you have goals. You can get items. There's a team playing mode where you can have a team of 3 other people. So basically, the different suits that you can choose from have different roles, kind of like in the classic fantasy game where you've got a healer and a long-range magician and a short-range swordsman. The different roles that you have in battle. This is kind of following that in a general way. So you've got different suits that serve different purposes. There's a really fast suit that's probably has low defense, and then there's a high attack guy that's slow. Different types of warriors that you would see in a fantasy game. Looks like they've got that in the form of weaponized armor suits. So pretty creative. I mean, it makes sense, and it gives a cool dynamic. So basically, you assemble your squad and go out on your missions, and you all kind of serve a different role while you're in combat, and it looks really fun. So lots of gameplay out there if you want to check it out.
Crossed, it's good.
Daniel, get an Xbox. We can do some recording.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. There's weaponized mech suits and there's ancient aliens in this game, so I'm interested.
Yeah.
They've got my attention. That's all I got so far. Angela, you got anything else for us?
Yeah. So I've recently discovered that there's a Birds of Prey movie being made, and I'll admit, since I'm not a big comic book nerd, I was not aware of what the series was. I was like, what is this? And I'm like, oh, This is the Harley Quinn movie that's been kind of rumored about for a little bit. Her and her female gang, apparently she's going to be leading. So all the information that's come out so far is they have a 20-second trailer that's been released. Of course, it's not really a trailer, it's a teaser. And it almost looks like, I don't know, a costume test. So it like briefly flashes with all the other side characters that are going to be in it. And I would not know who these people were until like I saw a list online of who all's going to be in it. So far it seems to be Huntress is going to be in it, and Black Canary, Black Mask, who's going to be played by Ewan McGregor, which is interesting to me.
What?
Yep.
Is that like Tuxedo Mask or like who? I don't know.
Yeah. But sad thing is in the trailer he didn't have the black mask on, so it's like they better not pull the thing where he starts wearing it at like the last scene in the movie or something. That'd be kind of disappointing. Let's see, Victor Zsasz is supposed to be in it, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. And also I think Cassandra Cain and Renee Montoya. So that's all that they've released so far about it.
Cool.
And one other thing is that apparently Birds of Prey is the shortened version of this movie title, and it's actually much longer based on a photo of the script that was taken, and it's the actual full title is Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. So that is a mouthful.
My gosh, wow. Fantabulous Emancipation.
Yep. There's that. And one other thing from the video game world that's come out recently is, back in 2017 at E3 and Nintendo's conference, they had a very short teaser of Metroid Prime 4 going to be released. And that has been a very much looked after game for a lot of people because, I mean, Metroid is not one of Nintendo's biggest IPs, but it's pretty good. I personally like it a lot. The last main game that they came out with, Other M, a lot of people think they kind of ruined Metroid a little bit because they had fully voice-acted cutscenes and the voice acting wasn't that great. They kind of destroy Samus's character a little bit by having her like a subordinate to somebody, and they didn't like that. So Metroid Prime 4 being announced is like a breath of fresh air to people. It's going back to what made it good. Cool. And to put in perspective how long that there's a big gap between the third one and this one, the third one came out in 2007, I think. So yeah, pretty big gap. However, Nintendo recently announced that they had to scrap all of the development that they have accomplished on the game, and basically they are rebooting and remaking everything that they've done.
Wow.
So
that stinks for them.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal. So originally, a developer, Bandai Namco, was working on the game, and they're both well known for kind of releasing anime sort of video games. They're the ones that release all the Dragon Ball, Naruto stuff. So yeah, I don't know what they did to mess it up, but basically one of Nintendo's employees came out and announced that it would be delayed because I guess the development progress on the game did not meet Nintendo's standards, and the company decided to re-examine and change the development structure. That's all they said about it. But the good news is that the original developer of the Metroid Prime series, Retro Studios, is taking over. So that gives me a bit of hope that it's going to be as good as the original games, hopefully. And also, they've, of course, pushed back their release date to an undetermined amount of time. So there's that. Oh. It's kind of good news and bad news at the same time. Yeah. It kind of sucks, too, that because Nintendo stock dipped a lot after that announcement. So hopefully they can bounce back from this loss.
Yeah. I know I've already said enough about Batman, but one of the people on the list is Nick Jonas to be the next Batman.
Okay, no.
We don't need a musical Batman.
No.
He'll be so cute.
No. That's got to be a joke. I'm sorry.
Batman musical.
If that ever happens, I'm just giving up on DC completely. Like the movie studios, at least.
DC's desperate.
No.
I am Bat Jonas.
I think I just vomited in my mouth a little bit.
Okay, well, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for letting us know about all those exciting and utterly nerdy things coming up for this year. And like I said earlier, I'm super excited about this year podcasting. I know there's going to be some really good content coming up, so you do not want to miss it. People out there, make sure you're subscribing, following the social media, so you'll see all the posts and stuff coming up soon. All right, well, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. If you like the show, be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so that you won't miss any of the future episodes. You can also find our previous episodes there and listen whenever you want. We love to hear from our listeners, so if you've got any comments or suggestions for a future episode, you can always reach us at tvvpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks again, and have a great week. What you got, man?
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't talk to
Drop
me.
the news on us, man.
Drop it like it is hot.
That's what all the cool kids say these days.
Yeah, they are. It's from the MTVs.
MTV.